Lizzie's guide not to mess your hair up.
Hello people.
Hello.
Hello BB. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Right then, so this is a short video to everybody out there who's suffering from bad roots at the moment. Now, hairdressers, before you drop your thinning scissors in your Prosecco, because we know that it's that time already. Now, this is a little video to save the hairdressing nation from those terrible colour corrections that are going to arrive on your doorstep. So, me and BB, say hello.
Hello.
I've put together a really short video of how to go about it. Now, we know that the experts out there are going to be cringing at the moment, but don't. We're going to do it safe so that at least guys, you can visit that B&M aisle looking better than you do already.
And it's on dolls, so it won't be on any people.
Yes, we're playing safe. Okay, so this is Lizzie's guide to, oh my God, be careful when you're choosing your hair colour. Now, people, you can order hair colour online still, and you can still get it delivered with your shopping. So let's think about what colours we might use. Now, these ones at the bottom here, your colours will always have a number on there and a letter. What this is, it indicates to you what the base colour is going to be. So, for example, if it's going to be a brown colour, a blonde colour, a black colour. Right then, what I'm suggesting to you guys to save your hairdresser's stress is that you stop away from these colours unless you are naturally very dark. Because although some of these colours say, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, that they are dark brown, people, they are not dark brown, they are black, okay? Now, the other end of the spectrum. Now, I saw a hairdresser post a brilliant picture of somebody trying to bleach their hair at home. Now, guys, bleach is peroxide and it will dissolve your hair. I suggest if you are blonde to stop away from this and leave it to the experts, okay? So if you're a blonde person, you're going to have to cope with it being brassy for a little bit. Get some violet shampoo and whack it on. Okay, so I would suggest that if you are blonde or very blonde, go for the 10s, okay, or something around there that says very light blonde. And the maximum you're going to leave that on your hair is for the time specified on the box, people. Don't be clever, okay? But if you are a light brown or a blonde person, a dark blonde or a brown person, you're going to go for this sort of colours in the middle, all right? So we've got that straight. The other thing is as well, if you are red or copper, sometimes what happens is you have a number and a letter next to it that indicates what tone it is, all right? Just go for the one that you think is closest to yours, okay? They are home colours, so they are safe to some extent. This is the dangerous one, and this one down here. So stop away from that, and that's Lizzie's scale of, oh my God, be careful. Okay, so our client today in the salon is Helen. Now, Helen is a 35-year-old woman. She was previously in relationship with Amy Snelson, and obviously she suffered some trauma in her lifetime, so we're going to have to be really nice to her. So, when you have mixed up your colour, I suggest that you get yourself a nice little bowl that looks like this and a tint brush. So what you do is you pour the colour and the peroxide that sometimes is runny or sometimes is creamy. Read the instructions first and mix it up until it is a really nice consistency in the bowl, okay? It should be almost like a cake mixture. Now, at this point, you need to work quite quick, so you should have everything with you. So we're going to use a cutting comb that looks a little bit like this. If you're stuck and you've got a brush, that will work as well for you. So what we're going to do first of all is we are going to apply the colour to the hairline only, and BB is going to demonstrate this for you.
Okay, what you want to do is get your brush and slowly slide it up and down around the hairline.
Yeah, so Beatrice there is carefully just touching up the root area. And what I suggest that you do is you push the hair back. B, will you just apply a bit of colour there? Okay, now really carefully go around the back of the ears. Now, you're not going anywhere, people, for a couple of days, so if you get a bit on your scalp, so be it, all right? It just adds to the mood. There you go. All right. So continue that technique all the way round the back of the head as well. All right, just on the hairline. There you go. Be careful not to touch your ends or anything, because you don't want those touched at the minute. All right, there you go. Okay, so Helen here has had her hairline pasted with the colour all the way around the outside, courtesy of our junior here, Beatrice. Now Beatrice is going to demonstrate to you sectioning down the middle. Now this is the bit, guys, that we call I call a hot cross bun. Now what we need to do to make sure that all the roots are covered, okay, is that you need to section up into 4 parts on top of the head. So Beatrice, will you show people how we do that?
Okay, what you want to do is, with this part, I would go sideways with the brush, not that way as we did it when we were going around the head. We would just go sideways and just go cross down the middle.
And out that way. So don't drag your brush like down long ways. You're going to paste nicely. But before you start, we can see here that Helen's had a lot of trauma in her life, and she's suffering from, you know, some really over processed hair here. All right, so what I suggest you do first of all is, with your comb, you section that off so you've got a really clean section down the middle, similar to Beatrice. Look at the camera, look down, these braids there, so you can see there's a clean line, and you're only painting that colour on at the root area, not touching the ends of your hair, because the ends of your hair already have colour on them, and that will add, you know, it will further process your hair. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so when you have sectioned off and painted colour down the 4 quarters of the head really carefully, okay, without touching the ends. We know this is difficult to see on Helen's hair here. Okay, now Helen has had the colour pasted all down a little bit messy. All right, now the next bit is really important, because this is where you get the colour in at the right points at the head, right at that root as well, so you don't have any patches missing. Because I've seen some dodgy colouring, guys, where you whack it on at the front and then you've got like all these roots showing at the back. Now what you need to do, and you'll need a friend to help you do this, if you're at home you can do the front quite easily yourself, but what you're going to do is then put the end of the tint brush through the hair and section little bits over and pull it over. Hold that there, B, for me. Okay, and then you get a line usually there that looks a little bit like this, and then you can see on the picture what I'm going to do is then paint the colour on. Okay, and what you do is you work forward, sectioning like that right to the front of the head. Then you do the same going that way on the back of the head. I would do your 2 front sections of your head first, because those are the ones you want to develop, because that's where everybody sees this part. Okay, so if the colour starts to lose its potency when you get to the back there, and I suggest that you go quite quickly, so put your brush through and section off until you get to that front section, okay, and do it as fast as you can. When you've got to that part, we're going to then think about developing time. Now it's up to you whether you want to just do your roots, and if you're blonde you might not need to take the colour through, but if you are darker, sometimes what happens is, and especially at the minute if you've been stuck in the house, your colour will have faded on those ends, so you may want to freshen that up. So what I suggest you do is that you leave that root colour for 30 minutes. Okay, when you've done that and the roots have developed and the colour looks darker here, what you're then going to do with these end bits here is maybe just wet them down a little bit. Okay, you can do this in the sink if you haven't got a spray bottle or anything like this, because we're trying to improvise, guys, without being too catastrophic. This is why I'm doing this for you. And then what you do is then massage all this colour through with your gloves on. Okay, yeah, and then if you've got a wider tooth comb, okay, what you do then is you comb all that colour through. Okay, so it's nice and even. Don't pull loads of it off, so don't use the one that B's using here. You probably want a thicker comb than that, okay, just to get it through evenly to the ends. And then what I would do is wrap that up okay, on top of your head and leave it for a further 15 minutes. All right. Right then, guys, the final stage. So you've left your colour for 45 minutes really maximum. You've taken it through on the ends and you've brushed it through so it's nice and even. And now Poppy here, our client from earlier, has had her colour treatment done, hasn't she, BB?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's had it all washed out and you can see that the colour's nice and even, and that's what you're going for, is a nice and even. Now folks, this is just a quick fix to save your hairdressers absolute and utter trauma when you return to them, okay? So play it safe, keep away from that bleach, keep away from anything that has a 2 on it because it's black, okay? And go for those ones in the middle, okay? Rather than those ones either end of the spectrum, okay? So thank you very much. Poppy's just gonna have finished a blow dry from Beatrice now as well. So from Liz and BB's salon, over and out.